but I suddenly heard chains dragging as well as realizing that the crying was coming from all around me, not the other room. I decided that I needed to leave the room, but I was scared, so I started to slowly move towards the door. As I got in front of the open closet door, the chain sliding and crying stopped. I looked into the closet to only see darkness.
Welcome back to another episode of Midnight Oil. This is episode 4, I think. I'm one of the co-hosts, Tab. Right over there, that is my other co-host, Keeg. And today we're going to be reading your scary stories, unexplained stories, anything that you submitted to us. And yeah, let's get into it. It looks like we have one submitted. Did you want to read that?
Sure. This was submitted yesterday. They say, when I was a kid, we lived in a house that was just bad. There were a few things that happened in this house. Maybe I'll tell you all about some of the other stuff someday. But for now, I'll tell you the one that happened to me. This house was old, and the backyard butted up the backside of a cemetery. Like I said, it was just bad. Not just in the paranormal sense, things broke a lot, we had a lot of accidents, and our dog disappeared. Two of the bedrooms were upstairs in what would normally be the attic area of the house. My room was up there. My bed was on the far wall from the door. Next to the door was my closet. One night I woke up to the sound of crying. I thought it was my sister from across the hall. I was going to get up and see if she was okay, but I suddenly heard chains dragging as well as realizing that the crying was coming from all around me, not the other room. I decided that I needed to leave the room, but I was scared, so I started to slowly move towards the door. As I got in front of the open closet door, the chain sliding and crying stopped. I looked into the closet to only see darkness. That's when I suddenly heard a tiny voice say, "I'm sorry, Daddy. I'll be a good boy." And a pale, white face moved into the light for a split second before pulling back into the darkness of the closet. Needless to say, I slept in the living room that night.
I would shit my pants.
That's crazy.
I would shit my pants. That reminds me of like the corn song.
That's terrifying.
That would no. That like whoa. Oh my
That's
god.
terrifying stuff.
And not to mention that like you're right next to a cemetery.
Yeah, you have no idea what that could be.
Oh my god.
I would like to know where this, like, is this in a small town? I would assume so if you're next to a cemetery, maybe.
I don't
That's
know.
so interesting. I wonder that dad and the boy died there.
Or at least the boy
The boy.
did. Yeah. It sounds like his dad wasn't very nice. But that's ugh. No, if no. And see, this is also why I don't keep my closet door open. I'll be honest.
Mine is permanently open.
My closets stay closed. Yeah.
Imagine, like, waking up one night to crying, and you're like, oh, I should go check on them. And then you're like, wait, I don't live with anybody. Obviously, it's different than this situation, but like if I heard crying in the middle of the night, I'd be like, "Oh, maybe somebody needs help or they're not feeling good," and I'm like, "Wait, ain't nobody here."
No.
And then
No.
you hear chains sliding.
I wonder
Chains.
I wonder so okay, I'm trying to like piece it together. Like I wonder if was do we think the boy was like chained, like he was locked up, or do we think the dad like would hit the boy with chains?
I think it was like both, probably. I think the kid was just being abused and restrained, and
It's like those oh the you know those homes that had like the little like locked room in the attic? where they like put the kids that they like didn't want anymore. I wonder if it was like that type of situation.
Yeah, that would be awful. I wonder. I would love to see the cemetery. When you encounter some like paranormal stuff, what's like your first instinct? Are you like trying to like make it make sense to you in a way that you'll understand, or are you like this is a fucking ghost?
Um, Mine is just freeze. Like I'm just like I've had times where I've had like creepy shit happen, and I just freeze, and like goosebumps are over my whole body, and I'm just like, okay, it'll go away eventually. It'll
Mm.
go away eventually, or like whatever just happened won't happen again unless it does, and then and then and then I'll just stay here. Maybe if I stay still, they won't see me. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
my thought
so
process.
sleep paralysis demon story time. So it's this was one of the stories I wanted to tell last week, but I wanted to space my stories out a little bit. So it's like 2020, right after college, right? Because everything was ruined during COVID. Like once that started, so I did one more semester, and then I went back to live with my grandpa. And this was like after my grandma passed away and everything. So it was a lot, but it was like the place that I felt safest and whatnot. So I go there. I'm living there for a while until I decide to move. But I'm watching BoJack Horseman for the first time, and I'm grinding it out. I'm watching like a season every 2 or 3 days. One night, I start falling asleep towards the end of the show, and I wake up and I see this like demon in the like corner of my room, like black figure, like kind of like just perked up in there like a spider, and it freaked me out, but I couldn't move. Like it didn't move at all. I just blinked a few times and it went away. It never
My
like
God.
interacted or anything with me. Like none of it didn't say anything. And that was the first time I ever saw something in my grandma and grandpa's house. Like it's a pretty peaceful place. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I got to turn some BoJack off. I can't watch this. I can't do that right now.
Oh my God,
Yeah. So sleep paralysis demons are 100% real
bro.
cuz it was messed up. Unless it was like one of those weird instances where you're like half dreaming, it's like a super realistic dream. But I
That's
don't know why my brain would like, hey, here's a fully accurate representation of the room that you're living in and your safe space, and we're just gonna put a demon in there. Like, okay, brain.
I think that is kind of the science behind sleep paralysis, though.
Mm.
Because if it's not, then I got transported to some fucking otherworldly realm and saw slime dripping down my walls and millions of spiders climbing from under my bed.
Huh?
That is my like I used to have sleep paralysis bad in high school. Like it was an every night thing for me. And one of my sleep paralysis stories is I fell asleep. I'm pretty sure. Just normally, like I normally did. And I woke up completely frozen. Um, and my room was dripping in slime. Like green goo dripping down the walls. I guess it was a mix of like sleep paralysis and a dream. I was in like a dream loop. And so I was like, okay, I'm out of sleep paralysis. I got up, and as soon as I put my feet on the ground, spiders just started coming out from under my bed. And I was like, oh, hell
Mm.
nah. And so I
Nope.
ran into my dad's room, and I was like, hey, hey. And then woke up back in bed. And I was in sleep paralysis again. But this time it was a little bit, it was normal. Okay, it was kind of normal. I was like, okay, that's weird. I'm gonna go wake up my dad just because, like, now I need some company because, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that was scary. And so I woke up, I went to go get my dad, and he had some girl in his room. I don't know. And I was like, hey guys, good morning. Wake up, please. I'm a little goofy. I needed to tell you about this weird dream I just had, and then boom, woke up back in my bed.
Mm-mm.
And it started over again, and I was like, still, like, every time I would wake up in the loop, I was in sleep paralysis. And I was like, okay, cool. Finally got out of paralysis, and then I went to go wake up my dad again, back in my bed. But this time, I think this was the final time that I woke up, I got out of paralysis, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go wake up my dad this time because at this point, I'm mad. Because I'm like, why does this keep happening? Like, I'm so pissed off. Like, I'm not even scared anymore. I'm pissed off. And I woke up, I got on my phone, I was like, okay, everything's normal. I woke up, I, did some jumping jacks, I rubbed my hands together, I touched my face, made sure I was awake. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm awake this time. Sick. But no, yeah, I had sleep paralysis so bad that, like, whenever it rarely happens now, I know how to get out of it instantly. And it only happens when I sleep on my back. So that's why I can't sleep on my back, because I'll go into sleep paralysis.
I don't know that it would be every time, but yeah, that's valid.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you when I tell you it was every single night in high school when I would sleep on my back. Every single night when I would sleep on my back in high school, sleep paralysis. And it wasn't like any sort of I only rarely had the sleep paralysis where okay, bye. But I only rarely had the sleep paralysis where I would see things. Most of the time I would just wake up and like feel like something was sitting on my chest and like not being able to move. And I was like, that's cool. That's awesome. And I learned a trick. If you wiggle your toes, like try your hardest to wiggle your toes and like your fingers, that's how you snap yourself out of it.
Mm.
That is 100% how you snap yourself out of it. And like what I've noticed, like having sleep paralysis, not living in the house that I lived in high school, which somebody in the chat said it probably didn't help that the house you were living in during high school was haunted. Which, yeah, valid. I mean, granted, I never really like personally experienced anything there other than like feeling very uneasy in certain parts of the room or certain parts of the house, but it'd be happy. I don't know. I was always up in like at 3 a.m. I also outside felt really weird. Like the backyard felt really weird to me. I was always kind of scared to be out there in the dark, but it'd be how it be. But so experiencing sleep paralysis like after high school, it happens very rarely now. But I've noticed that like I try to like tell Cameron to like wake me up or like hey help, hey help. And then finally when I snap myself out of it, I'm like, did you hear that at all? Like I swear to God I was talking to you, and he was like, no. Yeah, I thought you were asleep. And I was like, no, dude, I was sitting there gasping for air, asking you to help me. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, like you were asleep. And I was like, no, I was literally in sleep paralysis. I wish you would have helped me, shook me awake or something. Shit was goofy. I don't think I have any more sleep paralysis stories because nothing crazy really happened during mine. It was that dream loop that I was stuck in that like happened.
Did I talk about my marijuana experience yet?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I'll share this one now. I was gonna wait. but I really want to talk about it because I want to know your thoughts. I think I've told you before,
I
so
think we've
more
talked
so
about it,
everyone
yeah.
else's. In college, I was an experimentalist when it came to just like trying things. I was like, you know what? Been very, I just haven't really done a lot of anything aside from like a few vacations with family, and I want to put myself more out there, whether that's with people, with activities that I want to do, like whatever. I just said yes, yes, yes. I'll try this. I'll try that. So I'm sitting there one day. The friends I made in college were fantastic. We go out to the parking lot and somebody buys some marijuana. And aside from one time in high school taking like one little puff and immediately becoming paranoid, okay, wait, I want to tell that one too. I'm going to tell that one first. Precursor. I'm in high school. It's my first time doing anything. And I I'm over at a buddy's house. We're all over there. And they're like, Keegan, do you want to try this? I'm like, I'll try. And this was before I was like, I'll try everything. But I was like, obviously, I trust these guys. I've been in school with them for a year. So I trust them. I'm around them every day. So I take one little puff. Or maybe it was a bong. I don't remember. But either way, I took one little hit. Phone rings. Uh oh.
Bro.
My dad's calling me. Dude, he has to know something was up. I answer. He's like, "What are you up to?" And I say, "I'm at a friend's house." He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like looking around. I'm like working on a project. And he's like, "Yeah, but what are you doing?" And he had to have known something was up. And he's like FaceTime me, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm looking around, and he just has Legos out. So I'm like fucking with the Legos, like I'm doing some project with the Legos. I wasn't thinking straight at all. He's like, okay, be safe, or something like that. Or I might have just turned my phone on airplane mode. I don't remember. I was
Yo.
so like, by the way, I wasn't high at all. Like, it was one little puff. I was just immediately paranoid. So that happened. And then eventually I just called my mom to come pick me up.
That's crazy.
So there was that. Um, but okay, so at college, we're in the parking lot. I don't know, like midnight, something like that. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name, but if the person that you're buying from uses a name that sounds like they could have potentially been part of Norse or Greek mythology, you probably shouldn't be buying from them. I'm just going to say that.
Yo.
Um, so we buy it from this guy. One of my friends knows this guy. I'm like, cool, whatever. We get home. Yum! Some marijuana. I smoke it. A lot of it. We're walking around. I'm smoking it. I'm smoking it. I'm smoking it. I 100% probably smoked way too much for my first time, essentially. Uh oh. I get back to the dorm, and brother, everything is my perception of time is fucked. It looks like everyone's running around real fast. Everything's in like fast forward. Yeah, and then I'm like, dude, I got fucking what the fuck? And like one dude was coloring, and there were people sitting on the couch, but everything was in like super fast forward motion. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I go into the room to sleep or lay down. So I'm freaking out. The paranoia steps. It sets in. I get up. I shoot up. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. My heart rate's crazy. And my partner at the time was like, dude, you're fine. Everything's gonna be good. lay back down. I lay back down. I wake back up. At this point, I think I'm in a hell loop. This like the second time waking up, I was like, all of this shit is going on, and I would have sworn that everything was happening the same every single time. So I'm like going and coming back and going and coming back and going and coming back. My partner's just like, dude, you gotta like calm down, just lay down. I'm like, dude, you've said this like 100 times. I've already died 100 times. I know what you're gonna say. And I'm like, give me a pencil. I need a piece of paper. I need to like break myself out of this loop. And they're like, we're not giving you a fucking pencil right now. I'm like, why not? I wake up, and then my buddy Marsalis, bless his soul. Oh boy, he snapped me out of it a couple times, but I was like, Marsalis is gonna walk through the door when I come back. Marsalis is gonna walk through the door when I come back. I come back, and Marsalis walks through the door, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm losing my
Bro.
shit. So I'm like, tell him that he can't come back in here. I need to be wrong about something, please. I'm stuck. I think I'm dying. And they were like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm going back. Go back. And I genuinely thought I was fucking dying, dude. I thought I was in hell. I thought it was a loop. And I was like, wow, this is gonna really make me a believer, huh? I guess I should have praised Jesus. I, I go back. I wake up. I'm like, Marsalis didn't come in. Nothing. And what broke me out of it was like, I heard him say, can I come in? And they're like, no, don't come in. Don't come in. I'm like, yes! Not a loop. I might be okay. But then it happens a couple more times and I'm like tweaking out. And then I wake up the next day. Dude, my brain chemistry for the next 4 years is fucked. Like, no emotion, no sense of self, no, like everything was foggy for years. Like, so much so that I was on Reddit, I was looking at groups, like, dude, I was looking at everything I could to like see if I could like feel better. Dude, my brain was fried. Like super fried. So, it's not like that now, which is good. I think it feels pretty normal. There's definitely like if you put my brain under like one of those MRIs or whatever it is, brain scans. I don't think it's an MRI. I don't know what I'm talking about, but if you put it under a brain scan, there's probably parts that aren't lighting up. Like, I'm gonna be so real, dude. But yeah, smoking that. I think it was potentially laced, or I just had way, 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 way too much. But it seems from what I was reading, it was potentially laced. But nothing happened to anyone else, so that's why I lean more towards maybe something. You know,
It probably could have just been the
was
fact that
just
you
me.
like greened out. Cause like
Yeah.
you can trip if you're like not used to it. There's also the terpenes react differently to like differently with different people's brains. You could just not be built for it. Really and
Yeah, I
truly.
mean, there have been times that I've tried after, like, I had a what are they? A vape device, but for
A cart?
yeah, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I had one, but it had like Delta 8 or something. I don't know what it's called.
Oh,
Yeah, I
those
shouldn't
that's
be
like
mixing weed with my ADHD meth. Probably, you're right. What is it?
Delta 8's completely different from like
Oh, well, it had me having panic attacks.
yeah. You can
So
that's like a Delta 8 you can like uh as far as I've read, you can overdose on it, air quotes.
oh, that's a good. That's good.
And it's just like that basically just means you could smoke too much where like you get sick.
Yeah, no, I had one of those. And that's where I actually after college when I was all done like essentially house hopping. I was between my mom, papa's, and my grandpa's because I didn't know what I was doing. COVID was awful. That's when I got my favorite pictures of me ever taken, where I'm in like the pink shirt with the flowers and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
really love those. Those were taken downtown Cincinnati. But I had my cart and I'm with one of my friends, and it's starting to get late, and the police are out. Like I see the lights on while we're walking around. Immediate paranoia. We get back to the car. By the way, don't drive, even if you're just like smoking, because I felt like fine, but I was like hyper aware. Like I was thinking about too many things when I was in the car, like
Yeah.
driving. I don't know that it's dangerous, but I definitely was like overthinking. So you might be like, I don't know, like under the speed limit, or not moving at a stop sign like for 15 seconds or something. But I don't know if it's dangerous, but don't do it.
Well,
Don't
we
recommend
we
it.
can't condone driving under the influence of anything, actually.
Well, I'm not saying no. That's not what I'm saying. Don't do it. I'm saying don't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you should not do it, but I did, and
You got the cops
it.
knocking on your door right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was like, after that, I'm never ever doing. I'm literally going to forget my keys exist forever if I am to do anything like that ever again.
Valid.
Because it's so dangerous. You should not do anything under the influence. Anyway, I'm digressing, but I had a panic attack with my first cart, and that was awful. And I've tried it a few times since then, and I think my brain's just potentially not built for it. Like, I just overthink everything. So maybe if I got on like some anxiety medications, I could try it again, but I honestly just have no idea what it's supposed to feel like. So after it having been done, I think it's been like six separate times where I've actually like tried, and every time I've just overthinked and had a panic attack. So it
I
just
mean,
may not be
valid.
for me,
Yeah, no,
but
that's
I would
common.
like it to be, like I would love to feel chilled out and slow my brain down without having to take my ADHD meth, but
Yo.
it is what it is. So that's my
It is what it is.
that's right. That's right.
Period.
Now we know what happened to Keeg. What does
Mm,
that mean?
that's funny. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. I can't
Okay.
stop this feeling.
I was just listening to that song. Also,
Scroll.
by the way, if you want to submit story,
We actually got it. If you check our about, we do
oh,
have the story submission link set up down there, as well as all of our other links, as well as some new like refined rules. I put in a little bit of work this week, kind of refining that part of the channel. Yeah.
did the panels, filled all that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing, real quick. We are very close to 25 followers, which is what we need for affiliate. So if you are not following already, we are 2 followers away. If you would follow, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone that you know, so we can get there, and then we will be doing a bonus stream. Unsure when that will be, but we need to do another stream every month. So we're gonna do potentially another. Well, okay. Either way, we are doing another stream. I have no idea what it is going to be. We've kind of chit chatted about it, but no idea yet. So
Yeah, it beats me.
yes, tell everybody right now. Go knock on doors if you have to. Unless you're in the storm, then probably don't do that. Actually, they might be lonely and want something to do. So tell
Exactly.
your tell your neighbors about it. We need two. This many. That's like one more than this many, which is one more than this many. So
which
We
is
just
two
need two
more
people.
than this many. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So tell everybody that you know. I am super excited because we're going to be able to integrate all of the Twitch sub stuff with bonus content rather than having you guys do it through Patreon, which, like I said, we'll be losing money out on. But I think that Twitch subs specifically need more like bang for your buck, and you guys should get more than emotes. So that's what we want to do.
More than emotes and no ads.
Yeah, you also don't get ads, which is kind of sick.
We
Anyway,
also
sorry.
should be pumping out content soon. We got an editor, so that's cool.
Yes,
Shout out
shout
to
out to
the
the
editor.
editor. We are really cooking. If you see him in the Discord, it is
Just a
just a guy.
guy.
He's cool. He does some really great work, and we are so lucky that we found somebody who is gonna be able to help us put that stuff out there. So very
You
exciting stuff. And now that I've taken enough beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, enough time, why don't you get us into a story?
I do have a story. I'm kind of excited for it. Okay. Oh,
Everyone, get your snacks.
yes.
Little snack and bathroom break.
Well, do we wait for them to get back, or do we expect them to
Yes.
take their phone to the?
No, we don't. We don't expect that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get tortilla chips real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which
Okay.
will sound great on the mic. So,
Cool.
give us 3 minutes or less. We need like a bathroom break countdown timer.
I have a BRB screen, but it doesn't have a timer. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Oh my god, we're
Mm,
so
mm,
back.
mm, mm,
I didn't
mm,
move, actually.
mhm, mhm,
But Pixie Undusted, thank you for the follow.
mhm.
We need one more.
One more follower,
One more. We're so
guys.
close.
One more follower.
But
And then we're doing
Slay.
our bonus stream. We'll get our affiliate, and then
Also,
we got some goodies.
Bunny, are you like, are you Pink Eye? Like, is that just like, you know her well, she is you. Like, does that mean that you are Pink Eye? You are the Pink Eye? That's amazing. But I can start us off with the Reddit story, since you
Please.
are smashing some tortilla chips.
Mm,
Or
I decided peanut butter and jelly.
okay, I have one that I was gonna eat, but it was frozen. It's an
Mm,
uncrustable. I ate an uncrustable earlier today, and it had crust on it, so I think that that's unbelievable. But
that's a scam.
yeah, like that's was insane to me. I didn't take a picture, but I thought about suing. Um, I should have took a picture. But okay, so here we go. This was posted 8 years ago in r/no sleep by the user Disney Security. I think I've read this one before, but like I want to read it again. The
Mm,
title is I work security at Disney World. Well, I mean I did. I work in security at Disney World, the happiest place on earth. Typically, I wouldn't say where I work, as obviously there are some pretty strict rules about things employees can put online. But I just don't think I can tell this properly without that context. And honestly, I think this may be it for me anyway with this job. I just can't see myself working here any longer. I've been with the company for 23 years. The first 20 years, I worked in the parks, nabbing shoplifters and rounding up people who were drinking too much for the heat. Occasionally, there'd be a fight to break up, but people usually kept it pretty mild. The heat and walking was getting too much for me the last few years, so I asked to be transferred somewhere with AC, and the company moved me to one of their resorts. While the working conditions were 110% better as far as climate and comfort go, the guest issues were trickier, mainly domestic. The expensive and stress of vacation got to a lot of people, and I'd be called by neighboring rooms because some mom and dad were yelling at each other. I'd try to suggest that they take a nap or go do separate activities for a bit, and that would usually calm them down. But none of that is what I'm here for. I gotta get this out while I have time. 3 days ago, I got a call from management. Apparently, a couple of days before that, housekeeping had went into a room that should have been turned over that day. Turned over is when one guest leaves by about 11 a.m. and the next guest checks in around 3 p.m. All of the guests' items were still in the room. Housekeeping made a note of it and moved on. But during the next 2 days, when they entered the room, everything was still there, untouched.
Hmm.
I need to pause, just to say, thank you for following Real podcast. Instead of the cute little first time chatter box around your name, it actually says possible ban evader and that you're being monitored. But I know that you're not. But thank you. Now we're at 25. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Anyways, now we resume. Where was I at? But during the next 2 days, when they entered the room, everything was still there and untouched. I went to check it out, and sure enough, there was an empty room full of luggage, clothes, and some snacks, some toys, everything a family would need for a vacation. The manager had already looked up the previous reservation, and it was for a family: dad, mom, 2 little kids. I tried to call the phone numbers they had given, but all I got was voicemail. We were a bit stumped, so I made the call that the housekeeper could clean the room and take the family's personal items to be held until we got in contact with somebody. I went digging into the reservation more. The family had arrived 5 days before housekeeping discovered all of their stuff. I found that the family had paid a parking fee, and their vehicle description was listed. A quick walk of the parking lots, and I had easily located their vehicle. So that ruled out a car accident or them deciding to just leave all their stuff behind. Next, I saw that they bought a dining plan. This was when a guest prepays for all of their food. They're given a certain number of credits to use for meals. This family only had used 3 credits, and the last one was 2 days after they checked in. It appeared that the day that they arrived, they got here late and probably just stayed at the resort. The next day, they used 2 credits at Epcot. The second park day, they used just 1 credit at Magic Kingdom, and it was at breakfast time. Now at Disney, we have something called magic bands. I have 2. Magic bands are worn by the guests and act as a room key, a park ticket, credit card, dining reservation payment, fast pass, which is a system used to bypass lines, and more. It took some work, but I was finally able to look up this family's FastPass history. The day they went to Magic Kingdom, they had breakfast at the restaurant in the park, rode a couple of rides, and then rode their last ride. It's a Small World, around 11 a.m. Then nothing. If we can pause, there's always been something off about It's a Small World, and I've heard a lot of ghost stories about It's a Small World. But yeah, anyway.
I
Finally,
think I've seen a lot of the animatronic stuff mess up. I've seen a lot of the pitches of the songs and the characters be weird. The ride just fully stopping. Like, it's really, really creepy.
I've heard a lot of
Like,
stories of like people having like opening rituals. Like whenever they go and open a ride, they have to like say thank you to somebody, or like the ride breaks down a bunch that day. Blah 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 blah, all that. We can dive into Disney scary stories on a different episode. I feel like that'd be cool. Okay, finally, it was time to bring in someone else on this. I called an old coworker at Magic Kingdom and asked him to pull security footage for It's a Small World at the time they wrote it. I made my way over there. When I got there, my friend was very confused, almost distraught looking. He showed me what he found. There's usually a camera in the direction of where the rides load and unload. The footage showed them scanning their bands to use the fast passes for the ride, boarding the ride. The footage from the exit of the ride just showed other people in their car exiting. They weren't there. Whoa. Of course, we thought the worst. Maybe one of the kids had fallen out, and the mom and dad and the other kid got off in the middle of the ride to help, and they all got injured or killed or stuck in the machinery somewhere. So we shut down the ride. Middle of the damn day. Turned off that earworm music, turned up the lights. Me and my buddy walked that ride 3 times before we called in help. Eventually, there was close to 10 cast members searching. We didn't find shit except for 3 cell phones and a hat. I was right stumped. Why did they word it like that? That's funny. I've kept digging the past couple of days and I'm not sure who to tell what I found next to. I've called the
Yeah, by the way,
police.
a fast pass for Small World is crazy.
Yeah, very, very that. I mean, the kids. I mean, it's a catchy song, so I can understand it if the kids were like obsessed with it. But usually, I feel like there's not a wait for "It's a Small World." I mean, unless you go like during the peak. But even then, I feel like there's not really that long of a wait. But I mean, who knows? Disney security guy. I mean, whatever. I was right stumped. I've kept digging the past couple of days and I'm not sure who to tell what I found next to. I've called the police and I suppose they're on the way, but that company has a way of covering up things like this, and I decided I can't live with myself if I don't put out some type of warning. I kept digging into their reservation over the last couple of days, and today I noticed they had purchased Memory Maker. There are photographers all over the parks and cameras in a lot of the rides, and with Memory Maker, all of the photos are free. They automatically get added to a guest Disney account, and when the system knows their picture has been taken, and the system always knows, everyone's whereabouts are always known with the magic bands. Whoa. Well, I opened up their Memory Maker photo album, and I swear, there's 732 pictures. The first 30 or so are pretty normal. Epcot, a few rides in front of the castle. Epcot, a few rides in front of the castle. But the rest are all in It's a Small World. The rides only take one picture per go around, so it appears as though this family has ridden this ride over 700 times.
Whoa,
Fuck.
that's crazy.
The first picture was pretty normal. Everyone looked happy. It was a busy day and a car full of guests. The next one is rough to look at. The car is empty except for this little family. They look so darn confused. The next 10 to 15, I can see dad getting angry, yelling. Mom is holding on to the 2 kids like her life depends on it, and you can see the kids getting increasingly upset and crying. It goes on and on and on. After 50 or so, it looks like they're trying to get out. In one, the dad is missing. In another, they're all gone. Maybe like they bailed early in the ride and tried to walk out. But in the very next one, they're all right back in that damn car. After around 450 or so, I only see the mom and kids. It's just when I look closely, I can see dad. Maybe just his body now, slumped down in one of the other seats. Since about 675, there's just mom and one kid, another body in another seat. The mom and kid aren't moving anymore. I think them two are still alive, but just damn near catatonic, looking straight ahead, pale. And y'all, I swear on my fucking life, the dolls are moving or something. In some of these pictures, I
No.
can tell they aren't where they should be. I even saw one with the doll in the car with this family. I can't look anymore or I'm going to lose my lunch. I closed the album. Its file size has increased since I closed it. God, are there new pictures being added? I see on the security cameras that the local PD just arrived, so they'll take over soon. I wish I knew what the fuck is going on, but also, I wish this damn thing had never landed in my lap. I don't think I'll be able to update this. After I talk to the police, I think I'm gonna walk out of here and never come back. I just wanted to get this out here, before Disney feeds the media some bullshit covering up as to why the whole family vanished. They didn't vanish. I know where they are.
What the heck?
That's fuck. That was. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of a good one.
That's insanity.
That was kind of a good one.
What do you think? There's got to be some super messed up stuff that goes on there, right?
At Disney,
Yeah.
I've heard like the fictional stories of like the murder mouse.
But like, there's some
Um,
serious stuff that probably happens there.
I mean, in theory, I mean it's a big business, so I mean a lot of shit goes on. I do know. I don't. I mean I can't. Disney. I cannot necessarily declare this as a fact. Um, or anything of that manner. But I have heard, allegedly, if somebody does die at Disney, they do not declare them dead until they leave property. Even if they are technically dead on property.
What?
Yeah.
That makes sense, though.
I mean, you can't have any deaths at Disney.
That's
Um,
insane.
yeah, I've kind of figured that It's a Small World doesn't have a ride photo.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to really photograph there. Most of the photos that have rides are like to catch you off guard. So like roller coasters or um like to catch you having fun. So like the drop on Tower of Terror takes your picture. I think the drop on the Pirates ride takes your picture. I could be wrong about that though.
What? Okay. What's like the maximum age you should be going on a Disney cruise
A Disney
without
cruise?
children?
I feel like anybody could.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody could. Cause like, yo, Disney adults get like a bad rap, but like, I would call myself a Disney adult. If I could go to Disney every day, I would. I'm
Thank
not
you for
even
the
gonna lie.
follow,
Appreciate you, Lila.
Lila. Lila.
Lila, Lila,
Lila.
probably Lila.
Lila.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Appreciate you though.
Um.
In the
But
last 10 years, they've started calling time of death on property. Okay, I mean that's an improvement. I guess. I mean, I guess.
there was a guy not too long ago, if you remember, where his wife he died or something. His wife tried to sue Disney because it was something that they did, and they lost the lawsuit because somewhere in the terms of service going to Disney, they essentially write all of your rights away if something happens to you on the property.
I
You
did
have to
not
agree
hear
to
about
that.
that.
Yeah, let me
I
see
mean,
if I
fuck
can
it,
pull
we
that
will.
story up.
Man, if I die at Disney, I'm gonna go live in the Haunted Mansion. Back to the Disney cruise, though. I would love to go on a Disney cruise. I mean,
Okay.
maybe.
Oh, I had the roles backwards. Disney backpedals on saying man can't sue over wife's death because he signed up for Disney Plus. Yeah, so
Disney Plus, like the streaming service?
yeah, so Disney has backpedaled on its stance in a wrongful death suit filed by a widower whose wife died having eaten at a restaurant in Disney World, now saying it will waive arbitration that it argued the man agreed to when he signed up for Disney Plus. So Disney argued that the case Jeffrey J. Piccolo filed in February should be dismissed and resolved by individual arbitration because of terms Piccolo agreed to when he signed up for a free trial of the Disney Plus streaming service and when he bought park tickets. Disney said in a statement Tuesday, given the sensitivity of the case, we decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceeded in court. At Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations with such unique circumstances as the ones in this case. We believe this situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite a resolution for the family who has experienced such a painful loss. said Josh DeMauro, chairman of Disney Experiences. So basically, Piccolo's wife, Dr. Kanekaborn Tang Swan, I'm so sorry, died after she ate food bearing allergens at Raglan Road Irish Pub and Restaurant in Disney World on October 5th. The restaurant isn't owned or operated by Disney. It is a tenant at the Disney Springs area of the amusement park in Orlando, Florida. The complaint said the family asked several times whether her allergies could be accommodated and were assured that they would be. She suffered a severe allergic reaction and died at the hospital, the complaint said. She died of anaphylaxis and she had elevated levels of nut and dairy in her system. According to the medical examiner's autopsy report cited in the complaint, her death was ruled an accident. Piccolo sued the restaurant and Disney seeking more than $50,000 in damages under the Florida Wrongful Death Act. Attorneys for Disney have argued in May that Piccolo agreed to Disney's terms of use when he signed up for a Disney Plus and again when he bought when he bought Walt Disney Parks tickets. Under those terms, any dispute between a person and Disney, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. Piccolo's lawyers said in response early this month that Disney's argument for dismissal was preposterous and asked the court not to enforce arbitration. Piccolo's attorney, Brian Denny, told NBC News in a statement Tuesday that his client will continue to pursue justice on behalf of his beloved wife at the trial court level. He also hopes that these recent events have raised awareness of the millions of people of all ages and walks of life who suffer with food allergies. This awareness can help effectuate positive change to corporate food preparation policies and procedures. Denny also criticized Disney's reliance on arbitration clauses. The right to a jury trial, as set forth in the Seventh Amendment, is a bedrock of our judicial system and should be protected and preserved. Attempts by corporations like Disney to avoid jury trials should be looked at with skepticism, Denny said. Arbitration agreements are quite common in company terms of use agreements across multiple industries.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. I thought that you were fully like until you got to what the clause was. I thought that you were fully saying that like they couldn't sue because it says if you get a food allergy at Disney, you're shit out of luck. It's not our fault. Like if you, I thought that that's what was in like the Disney Plus,
Well, that
like
is that is
TOS.
that is in the so tucking arbitration agreements into click-through agreements is such a common practice that in just the last week, most folks are reading this probably signed such agreements without knowing it. It's in the Disney Plus agreement.
No, not that exactly. No, what you read that was in the agreement was that like stuff that people would sue over has to be settled like between them and Disney rather than taken to court and like, you know, that kind of thing. Instead of like if you die at Disney, you're shit out of luck, brother. No, it's more so no, we have to settle this between us rather than
I
taking
mean
it to court.
it's a little here. I'm gonna send the news thing and you can pop it up. There's a video.
But also the news like spin shit. Cause like what I gathered from that was that they have to settle it between themselves, and that's why the suit was denied, I guess.
Yeah, but because you signed the Disney Plus thing is crazy.
Yeah. I mean it's probably more so because they signed the tickets. That's probably in the
Yeah, but
tickets.
I think the issue was that they were bringing up the fact that they signed up for Disney Plus and they were using that as the primary thing rather than buying park tickets. And I think that's crazy.
That's not what I meant to do. Hold on
But let's
guys.
see.
I'm struggling. Hold on guys. Give me a second. Are we watching the video?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just read all of that.
Wrongful death lawsuit. A man in New York is suing the company after his wife suffered a deadly allergic reaction at a restaurant at Disney World. But Disney, for its part, is saying he cannot sue because he agreed to arbitrate any disputes with the company when he signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus in 2019. Joining me now is Amy Feldman. She's a lawyer and author. Amy, it's good to see you again. So first off, anyone listening to this might say, what on earth does Disney Plus have to do with this? A restaurant that was at Disney World. And what does it mean exactly to arbitrate a dispute?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, Ziegler. First of all, most people don't know what binding arbitration is or what the problem is when they sign up for those terms and conditions, which, as you said, most people don't even read. Binding arbitration means that if you have a dispute with the other party, you don't get a trial by jury. You don't get to speak before your peers about why they owe you money. Instead, you have to go with a neutral arbitrator, and it's binding. So if you don't like what the arbitrator has to say, you don't have the opportunity to appeal it.
And Amy, we should note that the plaintiff's lawyers say that Disney's claim is, quote, so outrageously unreasonable and unfair as to shock the judicial conscience. Meanwhile, Disney issued a statement saying, quote, we are deeply saddened by the family's loss and understand their grief, given that this restaurant is neither owned nor operated by Disney. We are merely defending ourselves against the plaintiff's attorney's attempt to include us in their lawsuit against the restaurant. It's a lot of back and forth. But Amy, all of us interact with products from big corporations every single day if we're on our phone, our computer. So if Disney's argument does hold up here, what does it mean for the average consumer?
It means they should be terrified, is what it means, right? Because a reasonable person would not think, because I've signed up for a trial subscription to Disney Plus, that I don't have the right to sue for an injury that happens on a Disney property. Think of all of the various multinational corporations that have tons of affiliates. Do you ever think when you sign up for a website for one product, which you haven't read the terms or conditions, that you lose the right to sue any other product that company has anything to do with in perpetuity? It's terrifying. Yeah. And it is, the lawyer is correct that it's a very surprising and, quite frankly, unconscionable view to say you never
Amy,
get the right to sue.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
To that end, I want to make sure we hit this. If these terms and conditions are viewed as binding contracts, right, the things that we sign or check every day, can regular people actually try to negotiate and get them changed?
You know, there have been a lot of arguments, sometimes against credit card companies, sometimes against other companies where they said, but I didn't read it, but I didn't understand, but I didn't know. And for the most part, these binding arbitration clauses have been upheld only in cases where within those terms of use, the company has not made it clear. There was a case where the company didn't make it clear or didn't clearly explain what is binding arbitration and what are you giving up that the company lost. But you do need to be very mindful of what else this is going to prevent you from doing. If you see something that says, and its affiliates, you have binding arbitration against this company and its affiliates, figure out who that is and then decide whether you really want to go on this website or if you're concerned about the rights you will lose.
Really good point to end on. Amy Feldman, always appreciate it. Thanks so much.
From world acclaim at the Olympic Games.
Okay. I mostly agree. I think that because most of the stuff, if you are signing up for, by the way, didn't even pay for the Disney Plus. They did the free trial.
Yeah. But, like, okay.
I understand if it's not part of Disney, whatever. They should be able to sue somebody, though.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, someone died. They said that they would have their allergies taken care of. Whether it's Disney's fault or this restaurant's fault, it doesn't matter. What Disney should have done, because they have so much money, is they should have said, here is some money, we are very sorry for your loss, and that should have been the end of it. Because what is $50,000 to them? How many people are dying because of food allergies at Disney anyway?
Which, like, yes. And so I want to preface this with, like, I'm not a Disney defender. I'm not here to, like, try to defend Disney. But what I think they left out of that, because in the article it was talking, like, you had mentioned park tickets, which technically to get into Disney Springs you don't have to buy park tickets, but if that was in the park tickets, I would understand a little bit more.
But even then, you should
Um,
because you should not be waiving your rights for a fair lawsuit just because you are buying so like terms of service. We've all been there. They are hundreds of pages long. You just scroll right through them because reading them is not like that's not viable for people. Like you when you get to the Disney park, you're not going to read 20 pages of if this happens, if that happens, we reserve the right to do this or that. Like that's not fair. That's not something that it just doesn't make sense to me. It just seems too greedy. I understand having to watch your back and that's fine. That's how you end up part of a human centipede is crazy. But I mean, it just I agree. I agree. Legally, the park ticket thing, that's why, and it was left out of the story a bit, probably to paint Disney in a worse light, whatever. Either way, it should still not waive that right to a fair jury trial. Because what's going to happen? There's going to be private arbitration between them and whoever. Somebody's going to get bribed, whatever it may be. It's all corrupt. The legal system is corrupt. And that's why that jury trial is super important, because the people have hearts. I don't know. To me, I understand why it's illegal, but that doesn't make it right or fair.
so, I was looking more into, like, what exactly arbitration is, because, like, I don't know legal shit. And basically, so an arbitrator, you get a neutral third party, which is called an arbitrator, and it's solved rather through a private process, um, instead of in like going to court for it. So they can, I mean, they could have still filed the dispute, and then Disney was obviously like, okay, well, you agreed to arbitration, you can't sue us like that, but we can come to a private decision, basically a closed door hearing. So there's still like a neutral like judge, that's not necessarily a real judge. So basically, they were just saying, hey, you can't sue us publicly, we have to solve this privately, rather than, hey, you can't make a claim at all.
Right.
So I mean, that's like,
I get saving face,
that's valid for a big
'cause-
company like that, but
but that makes you look more guilty though.
yeah, I mean, especially if they try to take it to court, yeah.
And also that is so I also was thinking when I was reading it that because they're a third party restaurant, but it sounds like Disney, at least in this example, they are completely taking accountability. So I guess that at least the Orlando park, they are taking ownership of this restaurant in this case.
Which, like, they don't even own it, though, is kind
No,
of the
they don't
thing.
own it, but they are taking responsibility, which I do appreciate.
Which is, like, yeah. Because, I mean, it is on their...
Because then else you're
Property.
suing. I won't call it a small business because they probably make so much money.
Oh,
but
I
like
have
you're
no
suing
doubt.
a place. You would be suing a place that isn't Disney.
Is
Who does not have.
basically, like, just renting the space.
Yeah.
Kind
So,
of.
but I do appreciate Disney being like, yes, fine, we will do something, rather than putting it on the business.
Yeah.
But I mean, in reality, it should be. I think all legal stuff should be public, unless it's like a
The Great Irish
extraneous.
Pubs owns Raglan Road. The Great Irish Pubs Co. Oh, it's Inc., not Co.
Uh huh.
If Google's giving me the right information, they own a lot of restaurants that, like, aren't
Oh, okay.
even in Disney.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically an incorporation that just owns a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they definitely would have the money to pay for that.
Yeah. I mean, they all have the money,
Yeah.
regardless. So, Either way, I think that they should have just given them $50,000. That's not even a ridiculous amount of money.
Call it
I
a
think that's a
day.
very reasonable. That's
What
very reasonable.
is
I don't know what ended up happening though.
what is Disney's net worth?
Oh, billions.
You see, you'd think so, right? But like, how how isn't like the owner of Disney like Elon Musk?
Well, Elon owns a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
He also has
so does
private government
Disney.
space contracts and stuff. So,
Yeah, all the information it's getting me is the Disney stocks, and they're going down right now. I mean, did you want to read a story, or did we just want to wrap up there? Because I mean, we kind of went
I
on the
think we can
Disney
wrap up
rabbit hole.
there. Yeah, we went down the Disney rabbit hole even after you tried veering me away from it because you knew I was going to yap about it and it didn't work. So, we can end it there. Do you want to take us out? Or I
Cool.
can take us out. I
Either
think you
way.
did last time.
I don't know. You can go ahead. Make it quick and snappy though.
Okay, damn. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This was episode 4. I can't believe it. We've done 4 episodes already since being back. Guys, make sure that you follow the Twitch at Midnight Oil Entertainment. Follow us on socials. Tab is Tab WTF on basically everything. I am the ___ Keeg. Thank you for the follows. Guys, we're doing a bonus stream. Keep a lookout on the Discord, which I believe you can join from our panels now. If you are not in there already, we will be announcing when we are doing that. It should technically be this month, so I'm unsure when or how long that's going to be, but that's going to be a thank you for hitting 25 followers. I can't believe how fast it happened, actually. So that's very cool. Watch all of the stuff that we're putting out in YouTube because we will be posting there and on TikTok as well. So, guys, again, thank you, and we will see you next Sunday.
Yeah. Good night.
Nighties.